It is time. It is Tuesday, January the 9th. It is time for Third Thoughts. Welcome to the podcast. I am here as usual on the podcast. Watching my P's.
Podcast.
With the chief himself in the flesh.
Still alive.
Still alive. You've been down for the count for a few days.
Ooh, since Thursday.
Since Thursday. Tell the audience what happened to you.
I got sick.
We did a special. We did the third and long on Thursday morning last week instead of Tuesday or Wednesday morning, and then you left.
Woke up with a little sore throat.
Yeah.
Lunchtime, it had evolved into a fever.
Yep.
Thursday night, it was like death.
Like death itself.
It's exactly what not the process of dying. It's exactly what the moment of death, what I've always thought that it would feel like.
But
just
you made it
over
through.
and over and over.
You made it through though, so I guess you're fine.
I made it through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, today's a special day. We didn't know it was going to be a special day.
We never know.
We really never
how
know what's
special a day is going to be.
We don't know what we're doing. If you listen to the podcast enough, you'll figure that out. But yeah, today's a special day because for the very first time, and we promised this at the end of 17, for the very first time, we have an additional voice on Third Thoughts. We have a special guest.
Yes.
We have a guest on our show.
Now, we never promised as to what level the guest would be.
Yeah.
But we have our first guest.
Like amount of fame.
Right.
We just promised there would be a guest.
Right.
In 2018. There will be more guests. This is just the first. This is kind of impromptu. So
we tried to get Oprah, but there's the whole mudslide thing at her house, and I think that's what interfered with her travel plans.
Right, and she's got a campaign to get ready for. But we're gonna get into that later. But at this moment, I want to welcome Shane Clanton to Third Thoughts. Welcome, Shane.
What up, Shane?
Yeah, fool me once, Shane on you. Fool me twice,
Shane on me.
That's it. So that's
right.
That's the reason the title of today, episode 9, is that. Shane, welcome to the show. It's good to have you, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So we're gonna do the normal thing. We're just gonna have 3 people going.
Yeah.
Instead of 2. So that means, Chief, you can't be as long-winded as you normally are.
We'll see.
You have to leave some room. You have to leave some room for 2 voices.
Okay, well, let's roll.
All right, let's roll with it. This week has been interesting. I'm excited for tomorrow's show.
Yeah.
Because we get to tackle the national championship that happened last night. So the whole state of Georgia is in a state of mourning.
I thought they'd call off school again today.
Probably should have. I don't know that anybody's really paying attention. They're just sad.
I wonder how much productivity was actually lost yesterday and today.
Between the school closures and then the national championship.
I'm just talking about from the national championship.
Oh, just from yesterday.
I think the school closures were as much about the national championship as they were the weather.
You think so?
Had Clemson and Oklahoma been in the
Georgia
kids would have went to school yesterday.
Georgia would have been in normal working order.
Yes.
Yes. Well, anyway, we're going to get more. We'll talk more about that in the morning. So hit us on Third and Long at 9 a.m. on Wednesdays, always. But let's jump right into some headlines. I'm going to hit you with this one, Chief, because, this one's kind of close to my heart.
They're bringing Coke Zero back?
No, they're not.
Oh.
As far as I know. I wish they would. But this one is, this one's a little bit different. This one's about net neutrality.
Yeah, okay.
And the Senate will force the vote on overturning the net neutrality repeal. You saw this?
No.
Senator Ed Markey, Democrat, Massachusetts, has mustered the 30 votes necessary to force a vote on the FCC's decision to repeal net neutrality. So it's going to basically, this is the way I understand the system there in Washington, that you must first force a vote.
Yeah.
Right? To overturn. You
Yeah.
must force. It's like you. Basically, this doesn't really mean anything because they're forcing the vote to just happen, and then they have to do it again for it to actually be overturned. Is the
They
way I
vote to
understand.
see whether they're going to vote.
Right.
And that's why we live in the efficient country that we do.
I mean, I didn't know it was this way. I didn't know it was.
It's like the meeting to plan the meeting.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand it. Why everything takes so long. I guess, you want to check through everything, make sure, things don't get passed willy-nilly. I understand.
Yeah, and it's also, the fact that they've got to get enough people there because they're all out sexually harassing people and then paying for the cover-up with taxpayer dollars.
Right.
So they've got to get everybody out of the hotel
Right.
and into the voting chamber.
So basically, Marquis can make the Senate vote on whether to consider overturning the repeal.
Yeah, just want to.
So they have to vote to consider it, okay?
And then they actually have to consider it.
Then they have to consider it and debate about it. Then there's a final vote. Then, if it's approved, it goes to the House.
Yes.
And if it passes there, it has to go to Donald Trump's desk.
Yes.
And then he has to approve it, which he's the one that put...
To put it up to start with.
he put the chairman in place. And
Right.
so it's probably... This is probably... But it shows that at least there was some traction to the protest. That someone heard my cries. So now I can only hope that Coca-Cola Company will bring back Coke Zero. Or at least they will consider debating it.
Maybe what could happen
soon
is if you can get in touch with your congressman, they could actually tie bringing Coke Zero in, hide it deep in the bill somewhere.
In the net neutrality bill?
Like they do with other things. like hey guys, we're going to pass this whole thing to give free cell phones to people that can't afford them. And we're going to hide $1 billion set aside to bring ISIS warriors to train in America.
You always come up with the most extreme examples.
It's like a satire news site.
That's true.
Is that real?
Obama hid money to bring immigrants who were known terrorists into our country. 1,100 share the same address in Wyoming.
What? 1,100 shared one address.
Because it's a training camp.
Yeah, there's one in Commerce.
And there are some that moved to Commerce.
Did you know that, Shane?
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yep. Over in Commerce, there's a.
It's not ISIS.
No, but it is. It's like a.
Yeah.
But it's weird. It's like a.
It's a terror training camp, though.
Yeah.
Listen, when they need to go to Walmart to buy something, the local police force goes and gives them police escort, stays with them, allows them to buy everything, and then escorts them back. So not only did we bring the people that want to kill us here, we're spending our tax dollars to protect the people now that they're here.
Yeah. It's nuts, man.
Let me tell you something. Some good old Banks County fellows, they're ready for a good jihad.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be nuts, honestly. That would get out of control really quick over there.
Oh, yeah.
But this is how, but seriously, this is how you end up with the way lots of European countries are now, where you have these no-go zones where the cops don't go. Yeah. And there's no, ambulances don't go there because you have these societies building in other societies that are not assimilated. They're completely separate. And
yes.
It's a really slippery slope.
Oh, yeah.
So I say all that to say, bring back Coke Zero. Coca-Cola, prevent this from happening. You can... bring that around.
Bring back Coke Zero, and there will be no more terror training camps in America.
That's what we're saying. That's what I'm saying. That's my pitch. That's my pitch, and I'm sticking to it.
That's it. Vending machines.
That's it. Speaking of Donald Trump.
Yes, let's speak about him.
Speaking about net neutrality, how it might be discussed to be repealed, then it has to go to Donald Trump's desk. Speaking of Donald Trump, I'm just keeping the audience clued into my thought.
Yeah.
Yes, my thought process here. Donald Trump is addicted to cable TV, which is fine. That's the headline.
Okay.
President Donald Trump is spending an increasing amount of time of his hours in the White House watching TV and tweeting, which is weird because that's what I do at my house.
You could be the next president.
Wait a minute.
I feel qualified.
You have cable TV, though.
No, I don't have cable TV.
See,
You just don't meet the age requirement.
That's right. I'm a little young. But some would argue that Trump's a little old.
Not me. Look at the Pope.
true.
Yeah.
Why does the Catholic Church get so many old guys to be the Pope? Why don't they put a young guy in to give him some years to get things done?
I don't know. I guess.
They don't want change.
Who chooses? How does that happen? I don't know the process.
Right.
You know, they put all the guys in the room,
Yeah.
and then they select from amongst themselves. Mm-hmm. They go through a series of votes, and when they choose one, the smoke comes through the chimney.
Yeah.
That's probably only happened one time in your life.
Yeah.
Maybe twice.
Yeah, I can't remember. I knew the smoke thing, but I mean, how do you decide?
I don't know if it's cardinals or archbishops.
So the kind
They
of
vote on it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of like smaller churches. That's the board essentially, and the board votes.
Yeah, but it's like the top echelon.
Right.
Yeah.
Upper echelon.
It's usually somebody very close to the sitting pope.
Gotcha. I don't know why they
that
pick old
gets-
popes. But speaking of that,
Somebody that never mind. I'm not going to.
let's just before we chase too many pope trails. Yeah, this is from Axios. Jonathan Swan, and he's reporting. It says Trump's days in the Oval Office are relatively short, from 11 to 6. Then he's back to the residence. During that time, he usually has a meeting or two. He spends a good deal of time making phone calls, watching cable news in the dining room adjoining the Oval. Then he's back to the residence for more phone calls and more TV. So, do you think that's a problem? I mean, he watches a lot of TV.
Okay, he's in the Oval Office from 11 to 6.
Yes.
That's 7 hours.
Yeah.
But we also know for a fact that the security briefings are before 7 a.m.
Yes.
That's what
okay. And being president never really stops. Like, you don't clock out.
Right. It's like my job.
Yeah. At any moment, you would need to do something. So he's never really off the clock.
It's like my job, only without all the security.
Yeah. This says how Trump chooses to divvy up his day is largely a personal choice. George W. Bush apparently got up really early, was at the office before 7. Obama liked to work out before, and he would get the office at 9 or 10. So if he likes to start his day with TV and Twitter, it's really kind of up to him.
So,
I don't. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So, if we could update his cable package, do you think that will help keep him off Twitter as much as possible?
No.
I think we're assuming that he doesn't have the best cable package, though. Surely they have the best.
Okay, let's add
White House.
Netflix and Hulu too.
I'm sure he's got that, but I don't think he likes that. He likes cable.
Dang.
As much as he hates the media,
I bet
he loves
he
media.
does not have Amazon Prime.
That could
Why
be
do
the
you say
answer
that?
to get rid of the Twitter.
Because he just got through bashing Amazon. You didn't see that?
Now fill me in.
Trump comes out and he says that Amazon signed a manipulative delivery contract with a stupid post office. That Amazon took advantage of the U.S. Postal Service and the incompetence of the hierarchy that make decisions.
What?
And to back it up, hold on. To back up what he said, what's his name? Bezos, the guy that owns Amazon? Scott
Yeah, I don't know.
Bezos.
Okay.
Wealthiest man in the world. He just this week became the wealthiest man in the world.
Is that right?
Past Bill Gates.
It makes sense, though. I mean, Amazon is ridiculous.
It's either 103.8 or 108.3 billion dollars.
Wow. That's insane, man.
But listen to why.
Yeah.
Because the stock market keeps going up.
Right?
Trump
Yeah.
is driving the stock market up.
Sure.
He owns 83 million shares of Amazon.
Yeah.
The owner of Amazon. And every time the stock market goes up, every time Amazon goes up, he gets richer.
Oh, yeah.
But now, in 2 weeks, Microsoft comes out with a new product. Their stock goes up. Bill Gates will overtake that again. Gates is worth $93 billion.
That's crazy.
He really needs to get on it. He's going to be broke.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really on the downhill spiral there.
What a shame.
Yeah, so...
I have no problems. I don't expect Donald Trump to go out and ball with the boys in the backyard at the backyard basketball court.
Right. No, I get it.
Or get on the treadmill and listen. We've seen Donald Trump. He's not going to get on the treadmill and run.
Right. No, he's not.
So
he's old.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what my grandparents do.
Yeah, I don't.
Or did. They watch TV in the morning.
Yeah,
they watch the news.
Yeah,
but in the evening they watch the news, but they didn't tweet. It was before Twitter.
Yeah, but I bet your grandma has a Facebook.
She does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
She does. She loves it.
Go, grandma.
So, yeah. I mean, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with him only spending 7 hours in the Oval Office.
I think there are probably some people out there that are like, this is ridiculous.
Let me tell you, we could get something done. Vladimir Putin flies over.
Okay.
Instead of putting him in the Oval Office in those uncomfortable Queen Anne chairs that they show, put him in a golf cart and carry him to play golf. We'll get some serious things done.
Do you think they really use those chairs? I think it's just for pics.
I think it's got to just be for pictures.
And then they have somebody that changes them out for ergonomic chairs.
Surely we don't put foreign dignitaries in those chairs. I want to know where the room is that only has the 2 chairs and the coffee table where they're always sitting and get their picture made.
Oh yeah.
That is a ridiculous room.
I don't think it's set up like that every day.
Well, and here's the thing. They want us to believe that that's where they sit and talk foreign policy, and they take these pictures, and the chairs are not even facing each other.
Do they? So they face away from each other.
They sit parallel, and they're looking over their shoulders, and they're making these negotiations about national security and trade embargoes.
Look, here's how I think we need to handle North Korea. Mr. Trump, you're not looking at me. Who are you speaking to?
I'm sorry, but I just had a meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu, and my neck's sore. Can we trade chairs so I can look the other way for a while?
It's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't.
On Third Thoughts, the deep thinking about our nation's government.
I have to wonder how much stuff is just for show, and how much is real.
Shame on them.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Do you think Donald Trump really knows about Area 51?
Probably not. They probably just chose not to tell him.
I mean, is there really a book of secrets?
What if there is, though, and they didn't give it to Trump? They were just like, nah.
Yeah, we're not giving it to him.
We don't want it on Twitter.
We're going to give him a comic book instead.
Here, hand him the dish remote. That'll be enough. It'll keep him occupied for hours.
Do you think he has one of those you talk to?
He probably does have like the.
Do you think he's a dish guy?
And listen, when he said he can just hold it up and say fake news, and it goes to CNN.
Siri,
no, but he could
news.
have Xfinity.
Siri, open fake news.
Siri's confused. Opens every news network, just all of them, except Apple.
Pulls up his Twitter.
The only thing that doesn't open. Third Thoughts Podcast.
Right, this is the real truth right here. That's all I'm saying.
Our version, at least, anyway.
It's what we like. Speaking of presidents.
Breaking news.
Oh, okay.
Steve Bannon steps down as executive chairman of Breitbart News.
Breitbart?
Breitbart, that's what I meant. What'd I say?
Breitbart.
I tried to say Breitbart.
Who's breathing in the mic? Are you breathing?
It's probably me.
Yeah, you had the flu. Yeah. I just keep hearing a breath every now and then.
I'll sit.
Everybody, just watch your breaths.
I'll hold my breath from now on.
Unless you're speaking, then you can. Of course,
I'll hold my breath the rest of the podcast. What you got? Let's go. I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Oh, so Steve, I don't have. You know what? The breaking news. I don't have a breaking news sound bite. I need a sound effect.
Yes,
dun,
you
dun,
do.
Dun, you know,
if you have a good sound bite for that, send it to us.
Even if you record it with your own voice.
Dun dun dun. Wrong one.
I might pull that from Shane, from this show. And
please not.
Dun, dun, dun,
hey, can I try it again?
It's like really
just for fun.
Sure.
Da da da.
That's pretty good.
Can anybody else hear that? Is there an earthquake happening somewhere?
No, I don't hear anything.
Okay, it's my microphone stand. Okay, never mind.
We're really breaking the fourth wall. Is it a fourth wall if there's no video?
That's the sixth dimension.
Speaking of presidents,
Maybe fifth dimension.
Going from Donald Trump watching the news and tweeting to Oprah. Previously, it was a joke. Oprah's running for president. She was like, nah, right? Or her people were like, nah. But now the Golden Globes happened, and like all important things, all important news, breaking stories about anything important, like all of them, they came out of an awards show, and Golden Globes is apparently Seth Meyers made a joke about Oprah running for president, and then some of her people ended up saying she would do it. And so now it's like serious? Is it serious now? Can we take it serious?
Okay, what that means is that Seth Meyers, we've given Seth Meyers.
It's just one guy, but it's Myers.
Seth Meyers. We have now given him the power to single-handedly choose people that run for president.
Which is weird because he's not even on the top-tier late-night show.
No, they had to give him the job so he doesn't starve to death of emceeing the Golden Globes. It's not even a major award show. It's the foreign press. One of the people receiving the award actually said, I don't know who these people are, but I appreciate the award.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so the joke was...
Tom Hanks was going to run for vice president.
Yeah, the joke was Seth Meyers mentioned that in the 2011 White House Correspondents' Dinner, he joked about Donald Trump not being qualified to be president. And then apparently that's when Donald Trump was convinced to run, or whatever. So he made the joke that Oprah would, at the Golden Globes, he said Oprah would be a terrible president and that Tom Hanks would be a terrible vice president. And so everybody laughed, ha ha. But then when Oprah got on stage, she said, I want all the girls watching here and now to know that a new day is on the horizon. And then there was applause. And then apparently that has caught fire that she's going to run for president.
Okay. I just want to think about that for just... Okay. So we're going to have Oprah Winfrey president. Tom Hanks vice president.
Yeah.
Dr. Phil...
Yeah.
Secretary of State.
Yeah.
I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, Phil's in the White House.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Who's Secretary of Defense? Jamie Foxx?
Maybe, but we're forgetting a very important thing here.
He played in a war movie.
Yeah,
True.
he did.
So, I mean, it's, you know.
We're forgetting, though.
What we're forgetting is that Oprah's a racist.
No, well, that's not what I was forgetting. There's the hot take from the chief. What we're forgetting, though, is the other contender.
It's not reverse racism. She's just straight out racist. There is no reverse racism, as if white people can be the only people that are racist.
Okay.
If you hate someone of another color or religion, it's racism.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what color.
There's only
the
one kind of racism.
There's only one kind of racism.
Yeah.
As if there are different levels and different kinds of racism. And Oprah lives at the top of that pyramid.
Absurd.
And now they say we have, the liberal agenda says we have a racist in power. So we're going to put an even bigger racist in power because she's got a cool TV show.
Never going to happen. I'll tell you why. 2 words.
Doesn't pay enough.
That's 3 words.
Oh.
2 words. Kanye West.
Oh.
Because if Kanye runs, I expect more voter turnout for Kanye West than Oprah, honestly, this day and age.
I don't know. Oprah, listen, I'm being serious now. I know you I mean, maybe you are too, but it's hard to take that seriously. But listen, Oprah will turn the women vote out like no one ever has. Hillary Clinton, women did not identify with Hillary Clinton.
No, that's
because
true.
most people think she's a man.
The hot takes. I need a sound effect for that.
So
That's pretty good. Y'all can't hear that because
I can't hear that. So
the audience heard that.
But what I'm saying is, she'll turn the women vote out. Oprah will get because I mean, the Oprah show, the Oprah channel, the Oprah network.
Yeah.
Listen, we're trotting in dangerous ground.
I mean, do we ever get somebody other than a celebrity back in the White House at this point?
It's going to be difficult.
I mean, I actually am being serious now.
Yeah.
Like, I believe what should happen is Donald Trump should make this executive order before he leaves the White House.
Okay.
That individuals should have the right to secede from the union. Like my property that I live on, I should be able to pull it out of the union.
Why would he do that? Why?
Because I don't want Oprah to be my president. And with all the fits that have been pitched about Donald Trump being president, I should be able to pitch a fit. Just do what I want to do. Just grow my chickens. I don't mind if somebody stands at the top of my driveway and checks my passport every time I leave my house.
Yeah.
I don't mind. Or better yet, this is what's ultimately going to happen at some point anyway. Mm-hmm. Let's just divide, just like Twix, let's divide it into the left U.S. and the right U.S.
Oh, Lord.
And just two countries and elect two presidents.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know how that...
I mean, it is a cool thought.
But do we end up like North Korea, South Korea if we do that?
If Oprah's the left president, we probably do.
I'm just saying. I mean, if it came to that,
what's her husband's name or boyfriend or whatever he is?
I don't know.
Oprah's?
Oh, geez, I don't know.
The guy that just stands behind her and smiles? He'd probably push the nuclear button every day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
Oprah for president, I'm not for it.
I mean,
But I'm going to admit in this last election.
Yeah, go ahead.
And listen, I could get in trouble. I mean, I dance on very dangerous ground here because of my position in the real world.
Yeah, but you're a decent dancer.
But
true.
He's not.
I voted more against Hillary than I did for Trump.
Uh-huh.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I mean, it was a vote cast, and I'll tell everybody I voted for Trump. It was a vote cast for Trump, but it was more against Hillary than it was for Trump.
Yeah.
Right.
And I believe that his Twitter and his tirades on Twitter and some of the things when he gets off script in his speeches that he says and the way he says things derail the fact that he's done some very good things as president.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, he should just not be allowed to do certain things, like tweet or open his mouth when he's on camera, but not mic'd.
Yes.
Last night at the national championship game in Atlanta, he went, right? And he came out during the national anthem, and he had his hand over his heart. And I don't know why an aide didn't say to him, "Listen, Mr. President, if you don't know all the words, let's just not sing any of the words."
Okay. Yeah, okay. My wife said this was going to come up.
And it has. But I thought it in the moment.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and she did too. And but here's the thing. I don't think it wasn't that he didn't know the words.
Couldn't hear.
I think that, one, he was... I mean, did you see his eyes?
Oh, yeah. Well,
I mean, he was overwhelmed by the moment.
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I mean, you know how... Listen, I can't sing along with you when I walk onto our stage.
Well, you could argue that Kendrick didn't know his words at the halftime show either.
Oh, my gosh. I have decided not to see Black Panther based on Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance. That was the worst job of lip syncing I have ever seen.
See, I couldn't tell if it was lip syncing or if Watch ESPN, the app, was just crap in the bed like it normally does.
It was that way on TV.
There was a lot of production issues too when it came to like crowd mics and everything else too. Like they kind of dropped the ball.
It was a pretty awful. Can you imagine being scheduled for the halftime show and then you're outside the stadium?
But I will say this too: it also appeared that Darius Rucker was lip syncing.
Yeah, it did.
I think it was production.
I think they were, but I think they had to because of the weather.
Okay.
Well, Darius Rucker wasn't chewing gum.
Yeah, I don't.
Kendrick was chewing gum.
I don't think that. I don't think that they wanted them out from underneath the stage cover with microphones.
Oh, okay.
So they made them lip sync.
Perhaps. I was shocked by that.
Man, when Hootie was singing, it was pouring down rain.
Yeah, it was. It was an awful day to be outside at a concert. We chased a lot of different rabbits there.
Yeah, I don't even know where we're at.
Yeah, well, let's just get back on track. I think I'm gonna move to a light story. We got kind of serious.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna move to a lighter story.
I jumped on that with both feet, didn't I?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's good. You'll like this one though. This is from the Consumer Electronics Show, which is happening right now. You know, it happens every year.
Mm-hmm. So Consumer Electronics.
Yes.
Is it about the non-conformity of the Apple iPhone 8?
No.
Okay.
This is from Samsung.
Uh-huh.
And they have created, you're going to love this, Chief. This is right up your alley. They've created a giant digital whiteboard.
What?
Yes.
Send me the link to that.
I will. Samsung is unveiling Flip today at the Consumer Electronics Show. This was yesterday. A 55-inch digital whiteboard that can be flipped between portrait and horizontal orientations. It is designed for meeting rooms and comes with a height-adjustable stand that can be wheeled around offices freely. Samsung isn't revealing exactly what operating system or software is powering the Flip, but it looks like the company will support note-taking, photos, and other collaborative scenarios on its 4K display. Samsung Flip also includes wireless connectivity, USB, PC, and mobile ports, so you can connect pretty much any device to the display. You can even share the contents of the screen itself to other PCs, smartphones, and tablets. Up to 4 people can draw on the screen with a stylus or their fingers.
Chief is breathing heavy over here.
So you're saying to me that I could write my notes and then I could push it to everybody's phone?
Yes. Straight from the digital Flip.
But they'd probably have to have Samsung phones.
I don't know. I'm sure there's an app. There will be an app for it. Or it'll go... I mean, you can email, I'm sure.
True.
When is it available? And how much does it cost?
Samsung will release the Flip to businesses later this month, but the company is not providing exact availability or pricing details yet. You know, CES is kind of where they just do the whoa, get the stocks to go up so they can actually afford to create the products they're showing.
Right. Yeah.
But I thought you'd like that because
I'd like to have at least one of those.
At least I'm going to bet $5K for it.
You think that's probably pretty good?
Oh, I was thinking 8.
Could be 8. It's
depends
4K.
It depends on the processor.
Yeah, 4K software.
4K, you double it, that gets 8. Okay.
Yeah. Sure. So somewhere in that's a pretty good guess. With your fingers or a stylus, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty. I'm surprised that surely there's stuff like that already out there, right?
I don't know.
I guess
there is Wacom screens in
Are they that big though?
I don't know.
That's pretty
I'm sure
big.
there is though.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is somehow.
That's cool.
Yeah. It is cool. I thought you'd like that, Chief.
Yeah.
But speaking of things you like, give me something from Chief's Corner.
Okay. I want to talk to you about what I'm dubbing the fire spider.
Fire spider.
Yeah. So there was this guy.
Yeah.
He's in his apartment. He shares an apartment with 2 buddies, kind of like somebody else I know.
Yeah, like me.
Okay. Yeah, like you. So this wolf spider, big brown 1-inch long, giant spider.
I hate those, man.
He sees it in his bedroom. So he's going to kill it. So he lights the spider on fire to kill it.
Dude, that's one of your roommates.
Okay.
Kill it with fire. Yeah, it actually does sound like one.
Well, here's what happens. The body of the spider ignited.
Yes.
No.
And it ran on his bed.
No.
Whoa.
Caught his cover on fire. Got on the window and caught the drapes on fire.
This is a nightmare.
This
This
is
is like
like
a
that
nightmare I've had.
Arachnophobia, dude. in the basement when he lights the place on fire?
They try to
pyrophobia.
Yeah, they try to put the fire out with a water hose. They couldn't. Okay, so they had to call the fire department. $11,000 worth of damage. Okay, but this is what the guy said. Hold on, no, this is leading to something bigger. Okay, $11,000 worth of damage, and they cannot. It's uninhabitable, so they cannot return and live there. And this is what the guy says.
Yeah,
it's okay. We were thinking about moving anyway.
That's his reaction.
This just expedites the process.
What a shame.
What?
Now he has set someone's house on fire that somebody owns. Caused $11,000 worth of damage. I was thinking about moving anyway.
I guess he has good renter's insurance.
Hold on, but this mentality is the problem with America. It's the problem with America. That is the mindset of redistribution of wealth right there. I'm going to burn somebody else's crap down and it doesn't matter because, hey, I'm just going to move anyway and get me another place to pay $300 a month. It's okay that it's going to cost them $11,000 to. Now, listen, this place probably belongs to some 80-year-old woman. Probably belongs to some 80-year-old woman who's just trying to make ends meet, can't live on her government check.
Yeah.
And now this moron tries to light a spider on fire instead of just smashing it with a shoe like everybody else in the world does.
I mean,
now she has not. That's redistribution of wealth. It's just like. Hold on, no. I'm gonna continue.
Okay.
It's just like everybody screaming, Obamacare, Obamacare. Now I'm not talking about people that actually need it.
Yeah.
I'm talking about people that take advantage of the system. I can just put in part of the numbers and look, I can get health coverage for this price. That's great, except for the fact that somebody is making up the difference.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Let me just. Now, this is a real story. This is not a Fox News story. This is somebody that I know gave me the permission to share this story.
This is like a.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. All right. My health insurance premium went up to $1,132 for me and my daughter.
Wow.
My husband's premium by himself is $1,400 a month.
Wow.
Okay. So that's not as much as I pay, by the way.
That's tons.
Wow.
Now listen, my health insurance, I've got to do something. My health insurance premiums just went up to more than I make a month.
You're not on Obamacare. It's because of
I don't qualify.
Right.
Doesn't save me money.
Yeah.
Although I'm poor.
Because of insurance now.
Okay. Okay, so we're looking at $2,500 a month, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. We all have a $17,500 per person deductible.
God.
Wait a minute. $17,000 per person?
$17,500 per person deductible.
What
okay?
The heck?
And my doctor copays are $75. Every time she goes to the doctor, cost her $75.
These are real. This is a real person.
This is public. This was on Facebook. Yeah, this just happened to this person. You know this person. You know this person.
17.
I know this person.
Grand deductible. How do you even? I mean.
Okay, well, let me finish the story.
Okay,
let me finish the story.
Oh my gosh.
Got sick. Went to the doctor. Diagnosed with the flu. Prescribed Tamiflu. Okay.
Yeah.
Went to pick it up at the pharmacy to find out my insurance doesn't pay for Tamiflu, which cost me $152 out of pocket. Would have ordinarily said just, I'm not going to do that. But daughter's birthday's coming up, needed to be well to be able to have the party, so I bit the bullet and went ahead and did it. Okay? Now, this part's very political, and, I try to steer away from that, so I'm going to read it word for word.
Yeah, right. Okay.
any liberals out there who tell me how the ACA has helped me and made my health care so much more affordable. I'm waiting on a Democrat to blow some smoke up my rear and tell me how coming down with the flu and paying out the following amounts is affordable and beneficial for me or anyone else. Now, I want to listen to this. I want to set this up for you. Okay. January premium, $1,132.48. Office visit copay, $75. Tamiflu, $152. Cough medicine, over-the-counter, $20. Other over-the-counter meds, $15. For a grand total of $1,494.40 for the flu.
Holy crap.
That's not counting her husband's
Holy crap.
premium payment as well. Counting his $3,000 for the flu.
Where does all that money go, dude?
To pay for everybody that's on subsidized insurance that doesn't deserve to be on it. Man. I'm not talking about the single mom who's trying to make ends meet.
Right. No, you're talking about people who can afford insurance. They can.
Yes.
But qualify for Obamacare, so they take it.
Yes.
Yeah. Just to be clear, if you need assistance, if you have a legit need for assistance, that's why it exists.
Yes,
you should absolutely. Be able to get assistance.
I have no problem with the healthcare system for someone, for the welfare system for someone who needs
it. Yes.
Right. But if they don't need it, they shouldn't be able to partake in it.
Right.
That's ridiculous. That's redistribution of wealth. Let me tell you something, where all this started. It started in this last generation.
Uh-huh.
When they quit keeping score in Little League and basketball and soccer, because there's no losers, there's no winners. You just go out and play and have a good time. There are winners and losers in life.
Sure.
And when we teach a 4-year-old that you can stink and not throw the ball and not catch the ball and not hit the ball, but you're still a winner, that's wrong. Because what it does is it creates a mentality of entitlement.
Jeez.
And we grow up and we think that, hey, if I can get it cheaper, I should get it cheaper. Even though there's some hardworking people in the world that are paying out the wazoo for us to beat the system.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. Those are absurd numbers, man.
Right.
And those are real numbers. We know these people.
Yeah. That's not through any media source. That's not being filtered left or right. That is a case study.
Got one more.
Go ahead.
New York Assemblywoman has manipulated the system for tens of thousands of dollars from FEMA and other local and federal agencies with hurricane relief money. She said her house was completely destroyed and uninhabitable, and she had to find another place to live. So she got a fake lease agreement, multiple fake lease agreements, and receipts for fake rent payments. Turned them in and got government payments for those things while she still lived in her home.
Wow.
That was not damaged.
Did they not check this stuff?
Well, she had the documentation. She got somebody to forge these lease agreements and somebody to forge. Okay, listen, let me tell you what she spent it on.
All right.
She spent all the money.
Shane on her.
On vacations. Yes, Shane on you, lady. She spent it on vacations, cruise tickets, and an excessive Victoria's Secret's lingerie bill.
She married.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
True.
What in the world, man?
Wow. Okay. All this is going on while a teacher goes to an open board meeting and was dragged out in handcuffs because she asked if teachers were going to get a pay raise.
Oh, I did see that. The superintendent's got a raise, but teachers weren't getting a raise.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was arrested. Yeah,
What
I saw
the
that.
heck?
Redistribution.
Dude, oh, so how did this lady get found out?
Listen, I want to say this. If Oprah Winfrey goes into the White House, I'm going to wrap all this up in a nice bow for you.
Okay.
If Oprah Winfrey goes into the White House based on the fact that one person said it from a stage in front of a lot of celebrities on national television, a person who has no authority whatsoever to make political judgments, and she goes in because of what he started, and all of this continues to happen, we are a communist country. We're not headed, because we don't have real elections anymore. It's not about who can lead our country. It's about who's got the hottest TV show.
Yeah.
It's who's got the most money to spend on advertisement.
Yeah.
True.
We're communist and we don't know it.
Ugh.
Pretty soon, Vladimir Putin is going to be screaming at America saying, President Winfrey, tear down that wall.
Can you imagine? That would make some great Call of Duty video games at some point, though. You know it would. This would be some great stories for like our great grandchildren.
I just got passionate today, man.
When they
I'm
finally
sorry.
revolution and get out of that.
Yeah.
I got really political today.
You did. Chiefs Corner was very charged, if you will.
Just because I've been sick, probably.
Yeah, you've been
house.
sitting. He's been sitting and thinking.
If I have offended anyone or hurt anyone's feelings, these are expressly my views and not the views of Clay or Third Thoughts Podcast or Cornerstone Assembly.
These are just straight from the chief.
These are
Going
the
in.
Chief's views. And if I hurt your feelings, Jesus does heal everything. So take it to him.
I'm
You
gonna.
just went yay on us today.
I know. I'm gonna move to a quick story that I wish would lighten the mood, but it's kind of sad. But I'm gonna say it. I'm saying it because this is an important.
It's not one of those things that's going to make me like laugh at an inappropriate moment like a couple of weeks ago.
No, I don't think so. This is from CBS. Woman dies after contracting flesh-eating bacteria from oysters. And I don't know about you, Shane. You love raw oysters. Are you down?
I don't.
I'm down. I mean,
I don't want to hear this story.
I know. I didn't want to read it, but I saw it and I had to read it. Back in September, it was in Texas. They went crabbing. They picked up a stack of raw oysters from a market, and it was like 36 hours later or something. She had respiratory distress. They ended up taking her to the hospital. They thought it was an allergic reaction. Within 48 hours, the doctors figured out she had Vibrio, which is a potentially deadly bacterial infection. It's flesh-eating. And then, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, people can become infected with Vibrio after eating raw or undercooked shellfish or by exposing open wounds to brackish water. She had been in contact with both, and she fought for her life for 21 days. And she was not able to recover, and then she ended up dying on October 15th. Dude, I really love raw oysters, and I really love swimming in the ocean.
Okay, I want. Okay, the ocean is not brackish.
What is considered brackish?
Brackish water is where fresh water and salt water come together,
right.
and it is a breeding ground for disease.
But I guess that could. I mean, you could get into that anywhere. That's
Not on a beach.
It'd be
So she must have been in like a marsh or something.
Well, normally, traditionally, most of the time, where you find high concentration of oysters and things like that, it's at the opening of a large river flowing into the ocean.
Into the ocean, yeah.
It brings the silt, and then the oyster beds grow on the silt.
Gotcha.
So that's where you find the large concentration of those things.
Yeah.
But here, I just want to point out something.
Mm-hmm.
There was no need for barcodes on those oysters or anything else. She knew where she bought the oysters.
Right.
She said, hey, we ate the oysters. This can come from there. We got the oysters from that place. Somebody got in a car. They drove down to that place. I'm sure they tested all the oysters that were on hand.
Yeah.
yeah.
You'd hope
Locally
so.
sourced.
Yeah.
She didn't get sick because it was a locally sourced oyster. Had these oysters been shipped across the country, barcoded, labeled, somebody ate them 2,000 miles away,
Right.
they would still be trying to find the source of this disease. But because she ate locally sourced, they knew where to go and look for the problem.
This is his plug. Shane, you don't know this because you're not in here every week, but this is yet another charged area for you.
But I'm not going to get passionate about it.
But you already kind of did.
Yeah.
You were pointing at me with that passion point.
I'm just saying that, this is a terrible thing. My heart goes out to this lady.
It's awful.
Fighting something like that for 21 days must be excruciating.
Oh, awful. I cannot imagine. Just being in the hospital.
And just enjoying what you enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, I can crush oysters, no problem.
Right. I mean, and there is hazards to the things that we enjoy.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, there are hazards.
Yeah.
So you have to enjoy enough for it to kill you, or you have to be so careful that you don't enjoy anything.
Right.
I know where you lean, Chief. You're definitely on the enjoy side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I've got this big race coming up soon, so I'm going to start. Here's the thing: if we would all eat real food, and I'm talking to myself, if we would all eat real food, if we could look into the eyes of the people that grew our food, we knew the person that grew our tomatoes.
Right.
We went out in the backyard, got the chicken, bled the chicken out.
Yeah.
Dressed the chicken.
Sure.
Cooked the chicken. We would all be healthier people.
Oh, I'm sure.
We would all be healthier people. Now, it wouldn't have saved this lady.
No, because I mean,
those were local. Those were locally sourced
out of the
oysters
out of the water.
That's like, are there one in what? 10 million?
I don't know what the
One in a million.
I don't know what the statistic is, but yeah, I mean, it's really rare.
Yeah,
It's a very rare disease. So,
but yeah, I mean, it's a terrible thing because it could have just as easily come from the water.
Right? Could have. Yeah. Now, am I going to go to that place and grab those oysters now? Probably not.
Okay,
but I don't vacation in Texas,
right?
Either.
I was in Texas.
But everybody around there, they're not going to go there and grow oyster. They're not going to go there and grab oysters either.
Right. Right. No, they're not.
So it's gonna solve the problem's gonna solve itself. Those people are gonna go out of business.
And what you're saying is, if it had gone through all these channels, the regulations, that it would be difficult to find the source, and it could potentially happen to more people.
Okay, and when they did find the source, it's gonna go on national news,
right?
And nobody's gonna equate that to the little stand down the road from the house,
right?
But they drove down to the little stand by the house. The local police went back to the little stand down by the house. It got out in the community that the little stand by the house is the one that had the polluted oysters, so they're going to go out of business.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
And I mean, it could have stemmed from one oyster out of that whole dozen.
I'm still going to eat oysters.
I mean, it was a bag full. It's probably more than a dozen. It's probably
sack.
like a sack.
How much is a sack? It's probably 36 in it.
A sack. I don't know. For me, a sack is like
I'm
70.
70 oysters. That's a big sack of oysters. You got to really carry.
I'm thinking burlap sack.
Yeah.
It's like a big sack.
Yeah.
Like a sack race sack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, what's up?
A green sack.
It's just a bag. A sack.
I was thinking when I think of a sack, I kind of think of like a grocery bag size.
Listen, Madison and I, a couple of years ago, we went to this little place right outside the gate of the condo, and we went in there, cruised in. They said, "Hey, it was like oyster happy hour."
Oh yeah, the place in Panama City. Yeah,
$2.99 a dozen.
That place is great.
What?
Yeah.
We sat down. We said, "Just bring us 2 dozen oysters."
Yep.
So we knocked them down. We said, "Then we can eat another dozen." So bring us another dozen. Knocked them down. Madison said, "I think we can eat another one." So I looked at the lady. I said, "We could probably eat another dozen, so bring us 2 more dozen."
Come on with it.
We knocked those down and we left, and I still could have eaten more oysters.
Seriously?
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm the same way. Quick story. Another one of your favorite areas, Chief. And Shane, I'm going to let you share your story as well. But first, Kim Jong-un, another hot button topic for the Chief. But his birthday was Monday. And this is something I didn't know, Chief. I don't know if you knew this. His birthday was Monday.
I didn't know that. I was sent him a card.
Which they do not celebrate, which I thought was interesting. It's not like he's their supreme leader or whatever. But it's not a celebration day. It's not a holiday.
I'll tell you what day I'm going to celebrate.
But he's only
not his birthday.
He just turned 34. Can you believe that? He's 34. He turned 34 Monday. Throwing bottles during the podcast. Can you believe that? 34. He's not even old enough to be U.S. president.
No. And he's supreme leader.
He's only 9 years older than me. Let that sink in.
How old Spencer?
Spencer's about to turn 30. But you know who's almost 34 now?
Sean.
Jason.
Jason Palmer.
He doesn't listen. He doesn't listen to the podcast, so we can talk about him.
Could be the supreme leader of North Korea. If he gained a little weight, they'd even kind of look alike.
The hair. I need him to listen to the podcast just so he can hear this episode.
Listen.
But no, 34. That's young. I thought he was mid-40s, man. I thought he's probably your age, Chief. Seems like prime dictator age, 40s.
Feels like prime dictator age.
Does it?
I'm surprised that's not like a national holiday.
That's what that was interesting too. They don't celebrate that. It's not a day of.
Well, he doesn't really seem like a festive person for his country.
No, he's really about himself.
But did you see that they're sending a delegation to the Olympics?
Yeah, and they just opened up talks with South Korea for the first time
to be able to send a delegation to the Olympics. It seems like this is what's going down. They're sending 2 athletes. They only had 2 that qualified for the Olympics. Pair of figure skaters who, funny enough, are not in North Korea. They train in Canada. So they're going to send those 2, but they're also going to send reporters and coaches and something else.
What?
South Korea has offered for their athletes that didn't qualify to come march with them in the opening and closing ceremonies.
Really?
Yes.
So there's a little bit of unity going on here.
It's kind of weird.
Some brotherhood here?
I don't think so.
Is this turning around? Because
I think it's a scheme.
As this is happening, the U.S. Army...
I think they're going to like skate around and spray the complex with cyanide or anthrax.
As this appears to be relations opening back up between the North and the South, as this is happening, the U.S. Army is training soldiers to fight in tunnels to prepare for a potential battle in North Korea, which is mostly tunnels.
Yes.
I did not know that either.
Oh, yeah.
But it's basically a lot of the stuff,
Like
pretty much the
moles.
whole country. Yeah, the whole country's underground.
Like Vietnam, where a lot of that was fought with like trenches and
That's more like jungle, though.
jungle. Really? Okay, because I heard.
Yeah,
about
there's no
people,
jungle in North Korea, really.
It's tunnels.
right popping out of like.
Think like Gotham
There were,
City.
but there were
Yeah.
tunnels. There were absolutely tunnel
yeah.
complexes in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought that was interesting because this says as North Korea tensions rise. This was this morning. U.S. Army trains soldiers to fight in tunnels.
Yeah, there's something up. They're not doing the. Yeah. This
They've
is just,
added. That's the thing. They always train some divisions in tunnels. They always train certain divisions in certain things, but they're adding divisions to this training regimen right now,
And-
which means you're usually ramping up for. you're trying
Yeah,
to
and
be
we're
prepared
ramping
for
up
something.
for war with
Well-
somebody else too because we're doing jungle training in Hawaii.
So jungle training, tunnel training.
So
Yeah.
everybody's saying that could possibly be Venezuela going after ISIS in Africa.
Really?
Let me tell you
Wow,
something.
That's crazy.
And I promise one day I'm going to get off of this, but Barack Obama had 8 years to fight ISIS, and it became a prolific organization under his watch. They recruited, they trained, they acquired weapons, and in 1 year, Donald Trump has almost destroyed ISIS in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Now it's not enough for him just to kill them in the Middle East. Now we're going we're going to get all of them. We're going after them in Africa where they've moved to.
Yeah.
That's
pretty
a good thing he's done.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
it's insane. I think that's interesting that that's really funny that they open up talks with South Korea. They're talking about the Olympics. but now
they're just trying to put a little bit of a buffer.
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to get some heat off because they're going to have a bomb ready and mounted soon.
Shane, lighten the mood, bro. What you got?
Wow, that's heavy after hearing
Lighten the mood.
war stories and such. So, recently, Time Magazine and multiple media outlets has stated over, I'd say, almost one of the first controversies of 2018. And I'm actually wearing a pair of their skinny jeans right now.
Okay.
It says
Don't tell people you're
the
wearing
Weekend
skinny
says.
If you've ever seen Shane, you know he wears skinny
Right,
jeans.
yeah,
There's no
it's-
question.
I just thought they were tight because he was outgrown all of them.
No.
No.
He buys them that way.
Right.
Okay.
Tech stretch, bro. They're awesome.
Tech stretch.
Says the Weekend says he'll no longer work with H&M after the coolest monkey hoodie. The Weekend has stated that he will no longer work with H&M after the fashion retailer featured a black child modeling a hoodie with the slogan "Coolest Monkey in the Jungle" on the British version of its online store. The Starboy singer took onto Twitter Monday, sounds like someone else we talked about today, to announce his decision, explaining that he was deeply, the big O word of 2017, offended by the photos in question, which have been removed from H&M's website. He said he woke up this morning shocked and embarrassed by this photo. He wrote, "I am deeply offended and will not be working with H&M anymore." And there's a lot more to it. LeBron James, for instance, has made statements about this, of course. So
Listen, let me just hold
Yeah.
on. Let me tell you something. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous thought. I've been in H&M.
Yeah.
Okay. I've shopped in it. I've
I
never
live
bought it
in-
because
I live in
I
there.
can't wear anything there. That's how I know that this is fictitious. LeBron James is not going to boycott H&M because of that. There's no way that man can wear a single thing that H&M has.
Right.
His
So-
shoulders are twice as wide
Maybe
as
like
the
a beanie
largest
or
garment
a
they
hat.
have.
So The Weeknd, the singer, pulls out of his endorsements with H&M
Correct.
over a hoodie designed for children. It says "Coolest Monkey in the Jungle," right?
Correct.
And the model was a young black boy that they had wear.
Right.
I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand that.
I guess they're equating because it says monkey on it, and they used a black model.
See, that never
Didn't occur to you,
occurred to me.
and I'm wondering who it occurred to. It was on the UK version of the site, right?
Correct. British, yeah.
The British version of the site, which probably didn't occur to them either. That was a racially charged, and it's cool. As lots of people call their kids monkeys. Plenty of kids.
I call my daughter a little monkey all the time.
Right, and she's white.
Yeah, and now she's not little.
I mean, monkey. That's a common
Right.
phrase.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure it didn't go through their minds that this is going to be
Well-
a racial.
Considering if it was from the UK and British section, did they have our American issues, so-called, in mind? Probably not.
No, I'm
No, I'm
sure
sure
not.
they
did.
No,
I mean-
no. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing: we're at the place in the world where people just want to be mad about something. Controversy sells.
Yeah.
Controversy gets
No, yeah.
clicks. Controversy sells albums.
It does.
I bet his next album will be called The Hood Monkey or something like that. I mean, there's some play here in some way. Everybody wants to be mad about something. I just feel that my causes are justified to be mad about.
Did you say the Hood Monkey?
Probably, yeah.
H&M
Conspiracy.
confirmed. Next Weekend album confirmed on Third Thoughts. Remember it. Called H&M.
Wow.
Jeez. Well, Shane, thanks for sharing a story on Third Thoughts.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That was pretty natural for you.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, that was good.
I don't know.
That was good. Chief, you got how many stories you got left?
I'm done.
You done? You all out? I'm gonna give
Right.
one last one. We're over an hour, but we had 3 people, so we got a little extra time.
Yeah, it's because I went just bat crazy.
Speaking of bats, that was a great segue. Speaking of bats,
And listen, we don't share this stuff.
right? No, we don't plan these stories with each other. Speaking of bat crazy, thousands of flying foxes are boiled alive.
Now, a flying fox is a fruit bat.
Yes.
Okay.
freaking people out as they fall from the sky. So this is near Sydney, Australia. They've got this heat wave going on. Apparently, the highest temperature recorded in Sydney happened on Sunday.
114 degrees.
116 Fahrenheit. Yeah. So it's the hottest it's ever been. But these bats, these bats are literally boiling. Their brains are boiling from the heat as they fly, and they just careen into the ground dead.
And I've read this story, and they have people there administering fluids and aid to try to keep them alive. And many bat lives were saved, but more bat lives were lost.
In extremely trying conditions, they worked tirelessly to provide subcutaneous fluids to the pups that could be reached, and many lives were saved. But sadly, many lives were lost too.
I almost quoted the article.
Yeah, you did.
Bat lives matter.
Australian bat lives matter.
But here's the
thing.
thing.
Isn't that crazy, though?
But I don't know if you read the rest of the article. It goes on to say that the temperatures are so hot that it's melting the asphalt.
Really?
On the roads.
It's possible, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Oh, yep. The heat wave localized in 3 states in Australia has caused asphalt to melt and started bushfires.
Yes.
It's caused approximately 400 homes to lose power. Can you imagine it being so hot that your power goes out?
Yeah. I don't want to imagine
that. Your brain
Can you imagine
boils?
how hot your house would be?
Oh,
because it's insulated. You're looking at 120 degrees possible in your house.
Oh, man.
That's hotter than that.
Yeah, that's just minimal.
What about your car? You know how hot your car would be?
No. Because my car sometimes says over 100, easily, over 110 in the summer.
Yeah.
Like when you get in it.
Yeah. Oh, wrap this thing up, Clay.
I'm wrapping it up. Listen, everybody, thank you for being with us on Third Thoughts. We've been an hour and 7 minutes, which I think is our longest show ever.
67 minutes.
I think so. I think it's the longest one ever.
Shane's fault.
All my fault.
Shane.
Shame on me.
Shane on you. Shane, thanks for being on the show, bro.
Yeah, no problem.
It's cool to have it because you're our very first guest. You'll always have that now.
Yay.
You will always be the very first guest on Third Thoughts, the podcast.
Actually, my wife was a calling guest.
She was the first caller.
Yeah.
That's different than a guest.
Dang.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shane's the first in-studio guest.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you if you've been with us. We thank you for listening. Make sure you hit up our socials at Third Podcast. Email is thirdpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to give to the Patreon so that Shane doesn't have to sit on the floor next time I'm just kidding, he's not on the floor. But if you'd like to give to the Patreon for other equipment needs and betterment of the show in general, you can do that. Patreon.com/Third Podcast. You guessed it. Listen, tomorrow, Third and Long, we got a special college football national championship wrap-up show where we're going to be handling the sadness of a UGA loss. So close, yet so far. Let's wrap it on up. Chief, thanks for coming in even though you weren't feeling well.
I appreciate it, Clay. I appreciate the opportunity to come on your podcast.
Yeah, man, anytime. You're the co-host.
You've made it clear this is your podcast.
This is but you're the co-host. Anyway, before we get into all that, we're going to relieve the audience of said matters. Have a great week. We'll see you next Tuesday, 4 p.m. live on Third Thoughts. See you on Wednesday mornings, Third and Long Sports Podcast. Holla at ya.
We out.